What's up, nerds?
I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
And I'm Aaron. Today we're looking at Klondike Rush by Red Raven Games.
And we're going to rush through it, and then we're going to eat Klondike bars. Comedy, we're good.
So it's kind of funny the name Rush is in this game because you do not rush through this game at all. It's actually kind of a little drawn out in the bidding. You're, just sitting there deciding when you're the first bidder if you want to bid high or low, how much is it actually worth to you, because you don't get a second chance at bidding. You just bid once, and everybody kind of goes around and thinks about it a lot.
It is one of those interesting bidding games where it's not like, I bid this, or it just keeps going around until it gets the higher and everyone passes. It's you get one bid. If you're the first player, you get a bid, and that's it. You use the last bid variant that you can play, which I highly recommend that you do. But if you're not playing with that, then like if it's my turn, I get to have the first bid, and that's it. Most likely, I'm not going to get that card unless I bid so high that no one else is willing to take it, or that just it's a crappy card and like they don't care about it. Which, like if I bid one, you're never going to get it for one. It's just not going to happen. So unless you bid like 5, 6, and even then if they're like, oh, you're bidding 6, I'm probably going to outbid you just because you're thinking you want that card, I want that card. I don't want you to have that card. And there's that interesting like you're bidding just not just to get the card, but to keep it from someone else and saying, oh, he already has 5 of those deeds. I don't want him to have 6, 7, but it's not really worth much for me at 2.
I do agree with Wes that I do think that the bidding is one of the biggest flaws of the game, and really the bidding system, the way that it works. Because we recently compared this to a game called Amun-Re that we reviewed recently by TMG that had a bidding system where it really felt like, you could pay a whole lot for one thing and really bully someone into getting something else. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm bullying you by paying a whole bunch for this one thing that I wanted, you then still kind of get an advantage, even though you were bullied, to go over to this other place where you get it for 0, and then it kind of balances out. This kind of felt that snowball effect, pun intended, snow, it's funny, where kind of sort of the rich get richer, and if you get bullied out of not being able to get the thing that you want, you're really kind of just screwed, and you sit there. And that also kind of added to the negativity that Aaron was saying about the downtime. Oh, I'm going to bid for this, I don't get it? Okay, another turn where I'm just going to sit here and do nothing.
And because you can only build on your turn, so even if I win the bid on Aaron's turn, I get the card, but I have to wait until my turn to bid, or not to bid, to build. And so like, oh, I won. Now I'm going to sit here and wait to build, figure out where I'm going to build. Oh, he built in the place first, so now I can't build there. Or if you don't win one and turn around and it gets to your turn, you haven't won anything, you're like, oh, well now I don't get to build for another round.
So to add to that, sometimes you do win a bid on your turn and get, 2 buildings, but you don't want to build them yet. This is adding to that, thinking, should I wait a couple more turns and try and get either more of these, the same mine type, or wait till somebody else builds a little further out so I can build these cheaper and actually get the tokens I want? Because that's what I think about a lot when I'm playing this game. I'm like, should I build now, or should I wait a little longer and then place them for a little cheaper if somebody else builds out there? Especially to pass these like bigger gaps that cost like 3 and 4.
Or you just don't have enough money, because money is such a rare commodity in this game. You're like maybe once in the game when you do your payout, are you going to feel like you actually have a lot of money? Most of the time, you're dealing with like $3 to $7, and you're trying to like outbid people and build. So you could bid, and you're like, well, I have $3. I can't really afford to build this anywhere I want, so now I have to sit on this and wait for someone else to build out further so I can even afford to put this where I want to put it.
I'm going to piggyback off what Wes said, and yes, you definitely feel like you're starving for money throughout most of the game, even when you feel like, ooh, I'm rich, and then you go, wait a minute, because you could be rich by like doing the payout in the middle of the game, right? And then you're like, wait, I'm rich now, but I saw how quickly that money can go away. So when we're looking at these cards, and you bid 5, and I'm wondering if I'm going to bid 6, even though it's a $1 differential, that 6 is a huge deal. So I need to make sure I'm really paying what these things are worth. And what these things are worth is hard to tell for a little while.
Especially because the money is the victory points at the end of the game. So you have to do a lot of calculating, especially late game, like, ooh, do I want to bid 6 for this? Am I going to be able to make that 6 back? Is it going to really be advantageous? Would I rather save that 6 to build something else later to get more Yeti, maybe get that $25? So there is a lot of mitigating, like, how do I want to spend these few precious dollars that I have?
So as it gets later in the game, you can actually figure out how much each deed is worth to you, because the buildings will end up between like 8 and 9 if everyone builds every one of the mines onto the board. But some people could just buy the mines and not build them to hold you back from getting the value out of the deeds you bought, which I've noticed Wes has done in a couple of the games we've played. He's like, okay, I bought these 2 the one with all the buildings, but I don't have many deeds, so I'm going to hold back on the buildings because they're worth more to you on the board than they are to me.
Some of the issues that we're talking about right here, like not knowing how much things are worth and, money being really tight and that $1 differential being a really big difference, are kind of similar to another game that I already brought up, which was Amun-Re. And if you had seen our review for that, I actually really liked Amun-Re, and those are really positive features for me from Amun-Re. So it's kind of weird that while I was playing this game and I was feeling that same type of feeling, if one card flopped out and I really, really knew what that would be worth, I would be better at this game. But the truth is that what I'm doing on my turn and like the overall experience of the gameplay wasn't fun enough for me to want to invest the time to get good at this game. This game will definitely be better when you're good at it and when you really know what everything is worth, but I don't really care to do that. I've played it twice now and I'm more or less done.
I would agree. Playing it, I was thinking things like, this last game I did really awful just because I passed up a few bids or I took a bid I shouldn't have done. And I was thinking man, I bet playing this game better, you would learn how to not be in this situation. Because once you fall behind, it's really, really hard to catch back up again. Yes, you can shoot ahead really early game and then be starved for money the rest of the game. But if you can keep it at a nice steady pace and slowly build up, I guess kind of an engine for that first payout, then you can kind of stay ahead of things. And if you starve yourself out and then your payout, you guys both paid out and got 32 money each. By the time I paid out 3 or 4 rounds later, I only got 27. And then I'm like, wow, if you're going to hold that out, you really need to hold it out for more. So I agree that if you understand the game more and get really good at it, you could get really good. But again, I don't think the game was worth the thinkiness of it. The investment in the game, kind of said, the enjoyment you got out of it was not worth the thinking and honestly the waiting that I put into it.
So what I would compare this game to most is Near and Far, but just the far part of it. It's just the going out and placing the camps. You are bidding, so it makes it a little different. You're trying to buy the camps to put them instead of just going in the town and collecting things and then going out and pushing as far as you want to. So it kind of feels like half a game to me, but
I would definitely agree. I think that if you've played a lot of Ryan Lockett's games, Ryan Lockett, however you want to say his name.
Right. Big RL, yo.
You can typically see, once you play one game and play another game, I can see where this game kind of morphed into this game. And I can see he took influence from this game for this part, influence from this game from this part. And so a lot of his games have themes or I guess mechanics that can overlap among them. And that is where I noticed the overlap in this game is in kind of how the spreading out goes and how you're buying things. I do think that this is probably the most different of all of his games that I've played, between Islebound, Above and Below, Near and Far. That this one is just it's kind of out there. So I'm going to say, maybe this is just a whole different game and he was trying to break into a new theme and the box is a different size. So that's a big signal for that maybe.
No, he also has 8-minute empires or small games too.
No, he has 2 small games, but they're not this size. They're smaller.
Yeah, I don't think... Good point. I'm an idiot.
None of his other games have minis, which this one added, so that's a plus. You get this miniature, Megature Yeti, which is super awesome.
Yeah, definitely. The components look good.
At the end of the day, I didn't really love this game. It was a bit of a flop for me. I'd kind of say, mediocre at best. But again, that's a real personal thing. It's really just, it definitely wasn't down my alley. There was an awful lot more thinking and a lot less player interaction than I left. I didn't love the bidding system, but I do think it's a beautiful game. The component quality is really good. I think after a lot more plays, people who, if you enjoy the first play, the game's just going to get better for you. And for people who really like the auctioning and really trying to figure out what things are worth, it's going to be great. But for me, kind of a swing and a miss.
I'd probably say I like this game a little more than you do then, because I didn't hate it. The first time I played it, Wes did crush me because we played a 2-player game, and I had a really bad start where I just didn't know the value of the cards, and in the 2-player variant, you're bidding on 2 cards at once, and I was like, we kept bidding back and forth, and it got up to 16. I'm like, yeah, 16.
And the rulebook, if you haven't read the rulebook, it says 4 to 5 is good early game, 6, 7 is high. So very first round, Aaron ended up paying 16. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, so I way overpaid, and I kind of was behind, and this game has that runaway leader kind of thing, which can really suck if you're losing, and you're like, oh no, I need a couple more deeds to catch up. The last game we played, I actually was the runaway leader, and I was having a lot of fun with it, mainly because I was the one holding up the game and thinking okay, if I pay this much for these couple mines and then spend this much to put them onto the board and get these tokens, and then I can exchange them for more money. I was kind of thinking, okay, I can make a little bit of profit if I can buy it at this price point. And they weren't really thinking that much into it. So, I don't know. Like, if you enjoy thinking, you know, like Tom said, if you enjoy these type of games where you're like, okay, how much are things worth? And you like, you know, it's not really exploring, but, you know, it kind of is exploring. No, I don't. If you put the tokens face down, you didn't know what you were getting. That would make this game, like, totally different. I don't know. Just cut all that.
So like Aaron mentioned, me and him did play this as a 2-player game. I did feel like that was a lot better. I know I kind of ragged on this game a little bit, but there are definitely some redeeming factors to it. I thought that the 2-player bidding back and forth, one, it doesn't have kind of that weird bidding mechanic where you only get one bid. You bid back and forth until it gets to where the other person passes. I definitely enjoyed that. I liked getting 2 cards at a time. I felt like that did kind of speed the game up because you still can't build on, I couldn't build on Aaron's turn, but my turn was then next. So there was a lot less waiting around and then like getting skipped because I don't have anything to build right now or I can't afford it. And again, I was the runaway leader in that game, so maybe that's what you need to enjoy this game. You need a chance to be the runaway leader because I definitely enjoyed it that way. So maybe if you have a group that's a lot thinkier and you want to understand like this game, it could be a little bit more even, have less runaway because you're not going to like make those mistakes early game to get left behind. So if that's what you like, then this game might be great for you. I think like Tom said, the art is great, it's got cool minis. There's definitely some unique mechanics to it. I would say it's hard to like say, it's like this game. Oh, they took this game and kind of reskinned it. So it's unique. If you want a game that's completely different, if you like that bidding, if that bidding, that kind of weird, funky bidding sounds good to you, or if you just like mountain games or you're a Ryan Lockett completionist, you should definitely click on the purchase link in the description box down below. Get yourself a copy of this game.
If you agreed with me, you probably wouldn't, but if you agree with Aaron, you've probably bought every game we've reviewed so far.
Either way, I know you like us, so subscribe to our channel so you know we'll be...
I will definitely piggyback on that and saying that you definitely felt starving for...
Starving!
For a Klondike bar. You're starving for a Klondike bar.
That's an end clip. Shoot. 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 Am I the only one doing the sound?
You're doing enough sound for all of us.
That was like a dance. It was like,
do the shoot. That's how you do the scar. The Office?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not a dance.
Let me out.
Somebody save me. Let me out.
Let me out. Well, it's Rick and Morty and you don't get it.